They don't carry guns. They don't drop bombs. But when they leave, your country is drowning in debt, your leaders are replaced, and your future is no longer yours. These are the economic hitmen, the silent assassins of sovereignty. And chances are, your country has already met them. Imagine a war, not one with tanks and missiles, but with balance sheets and loan agreements. In the modern era, conquest doesn't always require military invasion. Instead, it often starts with a simple phone call. Hello, we'd like to help your country grow. Let us offer you a generous development loan. And just like that, the trap is set. This is the world of economic hitmen. Individuals working silently for powerful corporations, financial institutions, or governments. Their mission? To convince poor or developing nations to take on enormous loans, more than they can repay, and then use that debt as a tool of control. But how does this silent invasion work? In 2004, a book rocked the world, Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. Perkins himself had been one of these hitmen, a consultant, a corporate insider, and later a whistleblower. He described a pattern repeated across continents. 1. Overestimate GDP growth using manipulated forecasts. 2. Offer massive loans through the International Monetary Fund, World Bank, or private lenders. 3. Use those funds to hire U.S. corporations for infrastructure projects, roads, dams, airports, money that never really leaves the U.S. 4. When the country can't repay, the hitmen return with solutions. Those solutions are devastating. Sell national assets, like oil or ports. Allow military bases on your land. Vote a certain way at the UN. Cut spending on schools and hospitals. Let's look at a few case studies. These aren't just stories, they're lessons in how nations fall silently. Ecuador. In the 1970s, Ecuador was rich in oil. Economic hitmen approached them with promises of prosperity. Huge loans poured in to build highways, pipelines, and power plants. But most of those projects were overpriced, unnecessary, and carried out by U.S. firms. Ecuador was left with debt it couldn't repay. Then came the demands. Sell Amazon rainforest land to U.S. oil companies. Cut education and healthcare. Privatize state-owned enterprises. The people protested, the government resisted, and then a president was mysteriously overthrown. Panama. President Omar Torrijos refused to play by the rules. He wanted independence from U.S. influence and to reclaim control over the Panama Canal. John Perkins himself was sent to work on him, but Torrijos wouldn't budge. Months later, his plane exploded mid-air. No one was ever held responsible. Coincidence? Maybe. But this wasn't the last time a leader who opposed debt dependency died mysteriously. Sri Lanka, modern day. In recent years, Sri Lanka borrowed heavily from China for mega projects, ports, highways, towers. When debts piled up and repayments faltered, the country was forced to lease its Hambantota port to China for 99 years. A sovereign asset, gone. The financial conquest of a nation doesn't happen overnight. It follows a precise and calculated playbook. It usually begins with a seemingly generous offer, massive loans for development. The country's leaders are promised glittering highways, modern airports, shiny power plants, symbols of progress. These offers are wrapped in sweet language, growth, prosperity, modernization. But what they don't say is that these loans are often far more than what the country can realistically repay. Once the loan is accepted, the money doesn't go to the people. Instead, it's funneled straight to large foreign corporations, mostly from the lending country, to build the infrastructure. Local workers get little benefit. Local businesses are sidelined. The country is left with debt, while foreign firms walk away with the profits. Then comes the deception, over-optimistic economic projections. GDP forecasts are inflated. The government is told, "Don't worry, your economy will grow fast. You'll easily repay this." But it's a lie. Reality hits a few years later when repayments begin and the economy doesn't perform as promised. Suddenly, the country is drowning in debt. And that's when the hitmen or their successors return. But now they come not with promises, but with demands. Sell off your state-owned oil company. Lease your seaport to us for 99 years. Cut funding for your hospitals and schools. Let our military set up a base here. Vote our way in international forums. These are not suggestions, they're the cost of survival. The country, once sovereign, now dances to someone else's tune. And if a leader refuses, if someone dares to say no, that's when the jackals are unleashed. Covert operatives, political manipulators, coup engineers, assassinations, uprisings, mysterious crashes, tools to remove the uncooperative and replace them with the compliant. It's a playbook not written in blood, but in boardrooms, not executed by soldiers, but by consultants and contractors. And in the end, the result is the same as any war: control, extraction, and the slow death of a nation's independence. But why does this matter to you? Because when a country is financially conquered, schools get shut down, hospitals lose funding, basic services disappear, the price of food and fuel skyrockets, the poor suffer, the elite escape, and foreign corporations make billions. It's not just a matter of policy, it's a matter of human lives. Today's economic hitmen wear suits, not uniforms. They use Excel sheets, not espionage. They operate through structural adjustment programs by the IMF, conditional aid packages, trade agreements that favor the lender, multinational corporations lobbying governments. Sometimes, these mechanisms look like help, but behind the scenes, they're carefully constructed systems of financial colonization. Yes, but it's not easy. Countries like Bolivia, Malaysia, and Iceland have, at times, stood up against external financial pressure, but the cost is high. Credit downgrades, sanctions, economic sabotage, political destabilization. Still, awareness is growing. People are beginning to question, why is our country always in debt? Who benefits from these mega projects? Why are local industries dying? Economic hitmen don't just target governments, they affect you and me. Every time a child can't attend school, every time a farmer loses land to a foreign investor, every time a nation sells its future for short-term loans, that's conquest. Not with tanks, but with terms and conditions. The question is, will we stay silent, or will we learn, resist, and rise? So the next time you hear about a development loan or a billion-dollar aid package, ask yourself, who's really benefiting? Is it the people or the ones who wrote the terms? Because in this game of global finance, poverty is manufactured, sovereignty is sold, and freedom. Freedom comes with fine print. Economic hitmen don't just target governments, they target futures. They target you. If this opened your eyes even a little, then don't stay silent. Like the video, share it with someone who still believes loans always mean help, and comment your thoughts below. Because truth only wins when it's seen, heard, and shared.